Hello, hi everybody. It's Colleen here with Chalk Couture. We are gonna try a big one tonight, guys. Ugh, I'm a little nervous. This is the Amazing Vintage Christmas, and I have been wanting to try this so bad. I've had it for a little while, and I held off, finally broke down, and decided to tackle it. I'm excited and nervous all at the same time. Hello, Jenny. So we're gonna give it a whirl. Oh my gosh, hi Debbie. I'm a little nervous. So it has 3 pieces, which are labeled. They have the 1, 2, and 3, so you know exactly which order to go in when you're placing it down. I'm going for a little bit of non-traditional colors with this one, and you'll see where I'm going as we get into the next layers. How are you, Jenny? And I did go ahead and layer the back of the carrier sheet with layer 1, so that way I'll know to match it up. And as I mentioned, there's 3 pieces to this. So again, this is the first time that I'm using it, so I'm just going to try to roll it right off, flip it over since it's a pretty big one, and I'm going to pull the carrier sheet from the transfer instead of the other way around because it's pretty big, it's pretty sticky. How are you, Debbie? And please don't stick. Oh, phew. Okay, we're in business. It didn't stick. So let me try. I don't know why I stupidly put my towel down there first. Let me see if I can grab that out. That was kind of silly of me to do. So what I want to do is get this really nicely fuzzed up. Hi, Rebecca. So we're going to get this fuzzed up with this towel. This towel's got a lot of nice fuzz on it, so hopefully it'll take care of that job for me. There is no way that I would want to try to put this one on my pants, or my shirt for that matter, because it's pretty big. I'm a little nervous that I'm going to get it stuck to itself since I am the queen of doing that. It is a big one. It looks like, somebody said it looks like slices of pizza pie when you cut it apart, and it really does. And don't stick. Of course I stuck it to itself. Why, oh why can I never have a night where it doesn't stick to itself? Alright, well, let me just see if I can get this apart without stretching it. Nope. Alright guys, I'm going to have to stick it in water real quick. I can never not do this. Let me get it in a water pan real fast. And I'm actually going to bring the water pan over so I can show you what I'm doing. So here's what we do. If this happens, don't panic. Like, I'm a little bit panicked, I'm not going to lie, because I love this transfer. And I was really trying to take my time and not have it stick. So I just have it soaking in the water a little bit, and I'm just pulling apart very slowly, trying not to stretch it out. Hello, Stephanie. So we're in the middle of a little panic mode here. And of course it couldn't have happened after I had fuzzed it a bit. No, it's nice and sticky. I'm just going to take my time. Sorry, this is going to wind up taking longer now than I thought. And probably warm water is probably the better way to go with this. I feel like I am going to need to let this soak. And yeah, it's not coming apart. I think I want to take it to the sink because I really don't want to stretch this out. And I want to put it in warm water instead of this cold water here. I mean, it's sort of coming. I hate to keep you guys on here if I'm going to be like pulling with this thing. Let me just try for just another minute. We'll see if I can get this apart. Hopefully I didn't just ruin it. I'm not too worried about down here where there's no silk screen. I'm just more concerned with this section where there is silk screen. Yeah, I did a number on it, boy. I'm just taking my time. Just taking my time. And it's doing so good too. Jerry. Looks like two people. Yeah, you know what? Usually I'm not too bad, Debbie, with the bigger transfers. Just lately, I have just been having a run of bad luck with getting them stuck to themselves. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I'm doing it live and I'm nervous that it is going to happen, and then, sure, it happens. It always is the way. It's just taking a long time. I'm just trying to be really, really careful with it. I'm kind of getting there. I'm making progress. But like I said, I'm just really trying not to pull too hard. But this is good learning experience, because if it happens to you guys, I want you to see how to handle it. And now that it's kind of submerged, it's getting a lot less sticky. And of course it keeps sticking to my arm up top here. And the other thing too is I thought right before I went live, I was like, you know, I should probably run down and grab a cookie sheet, because that will be nice and big, since this little dollar store tote that I have isn't very big. But no, I was too lazy to go down and do that, and so now I'm trying to get it apart in this tiny little bin. And I apologize that my head is in the way. And as it's sitting here soaking more and more, it is kind of getting a little easier to pull apart. I definitely think that warm water would probably be the way to go with it, but since it seems to be going a little easier now, I'm just going to keep going with it. And hopefully, I've got my fingers crossed that I didn't stretch it, but we'll find out as soon as I put it on there and get chalk on there. All right, we got it apart. Whew. Oh my goodness, collective sigh of relief. All right. So that's how you get a transfer unstuck. Hello, Peg. How are you? Hi, Karen. Hi, Sherry. Oh my goodness. I feel like I may have stretched it right there. I'm just going to cross my fingers and just hope for the very best. Let me just grab my towel, because now I have to let this dry for a hot second. And let me try this again. I'm going to bring it up here. And you can kind of see where I was a little concerned. It doesn't look too bad, like right here and right here is where I thought it might have been an issue, but actually it looks pretty good. It doesn't look like I stretched it, so whew, I think we're good. All right, so what we're gonna do is gonna get some of this extra water off of the front here, and I'm gonna try to fuzz it this way. I'm gonna leave it on here and then just pick it up in each section. Maybe that's a better way to fuzz than the way I was doing it. Maybe we'll just do it this way from now on. Alright, yeah, you can definitely see when you're looking at the back right here, it's a little stretched. But fortunately, it looks like most of the stretching happened down here in the bottom, so no worries at all. Alright, and it's back to starting to get sticky again. It's still a little wet down here, so it's not sticky. But this side, oh yeah, that's definitely sticky. So now I gotta wait for this thing to dry real quick, because I can't put it back down onto the chalkboard until it's dry, because then the chalk's just gonna get a little watery and it's probably gonna run. So let's flip this back over and try to fuzz this again. You can hear it sticking to the towel again, so that's good. So we definitely didn't lose any of the stickiness from where it's stuck together. And I think just one more time, I'm gonna pull it off. And don't you dare stick again. And we're just gonna lay it down. Okay, crisis averted. All right, hi Gail. Okay, so here we go. I just want to make sure, because it still might be a little wet. It is still a little wet. So let me just wait for this thing to dry off just a little more. Just try it again. Still a little wet. Let's just give it another second. Just going to take my towel and kind of dry out the silkscreen area. And so what I was thinking for the first layer is to do my branches in white and to do the Christmas presents down here on the bottom, to do them in a cream color first. So yeah, this is still wet. I just want to give it just another second, just to make sure. Now that I've gone this far and I've already messed up, I just need to give it just the extra little bit just to make sure it's dry. Alrighty, so I'm kind of, as I was saying, I'm kind of nervous about this one, but I'm excited about it too because I've seen some different projects made with this transfer and it really is beautiful. It doesn't look like anything now because this is our first layer, but let me tell you, when we get to layer 2 and layer 3, you're gonna see it come together, and it is definitely a vintage Christmas tree. It's pretty awesome. All right, I think we're good and dry now. I'm going to go ahead and push this down. Whoopsie, there went my iPad. That's what I get for banging around on the table. So we're gonna push this down. I'm just making sure that I'm not feeling any bubbles in my silkscreen area. If I do, all that I'm gonna do is pick it up and push it back down again and smooth it out so that we don't feel any of those bubbles. Just slide this over a little. This is a very big board. Takes up my whole entire desk. Okay, so I don't think I'm feeling any bubbles in here right now. So we will go ahead, and here is our chalk paste that I've already mixed before coming on live. And this is the white chalk paste. It does have that consistency that we're looking for, which is perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and just plop down some white to cover all the branches here. And then I need to stop down here because this is all the packages. That's the first layer of the packages. So I'm going to do that in cream. So let's just plop down some of this white, and then I can go ahead and smear it with my squeegee. So here's our small squeegee. All that we're doing is just covering that silkscreen area and just sliding the chalk paste right down over top. All there is to it. And once you get a little more pressure, you see how it makes it a nice thin coat on there. That's what you're looking for. I just have to be a little careful when we get down here in the bottom so that I'm not hitting the packages. So I'm going to try to work a little quickly because I don't want to attempt the pull down method by myself, because that, like Debbie said earlier, is definitely a two-person job for this one to pull down because it's so big that I'm not going to be able to reach holding the top of it. I'm just going to take my time but kind of go quickly. Get these little branches down here at the bottom. Cover these guys. It is starting to dry. I can feel it, so I do need to pick up the paste just a little bit just to get these last couple branches covered. And these guys right down here. Oop, I got a little bit of the package, but I'm not going to worry about that. I think that's it. I think we got the whole thing covered here. So I am going to have to pull this back a little bit because I'm not going to have, this is starting to dry. So there's our branches for the first layer. And I'm just going to hold this here like that while I go ahead and put some chalk paste down here in the packages. And I know you're not going to be able to see it, but I'm going to just cover them real quick down the bottom here. Why I'm holding this up, and the reason that I'm doing that is because if the chalk paste dries on your transfer, you're going to literally pull up the chalk paste when you pull up your transfer, and we don't want that to happen, right? We need the chalk paste to still be wet enough so that when you pull your transfer off, the chalk paste doesn't come with it. So that's why we kind of have to work quick. So I'm just covering up the presents down here, the first layer, in the different color. So let me just, almost done here, and then I'll be able to take the whole thing off and show you guys. There we go. That is all covered now. And here we go. Just set that there. Hi, Stacy. So there's our first layer of our vintage Christmas tree. Let me just throw this. I'm going to put this down here into my pan of water. And I definitely, that'll teach me for being lazy, I definitely should have gone the route of the cookie sheet, because that definitely will fit the transfer so much better. It went off the board a little bit here. You can either get that with a Q-tip or just scrape it off with your nail. It definitely is starting to dry, but I am going to hit it with just a little bit of heat just to make sure, because we are going to be putting the second layer on there. So whenever you're layering, you need to make sure that your first layer is good and dry. How are you, Stacy? Still a little wet down here. Okay, and I feel like, I think I got lucky. I think that it doesn't look like my transfer stretched or anything like that. So I think having gotten it stuck to itself and just taken the time to just pull it apart slowly, I think I was able to avoid a stretching. Whew. So there is layer one. I'm just over here closing my chalk paste just in the meanwhile, because my second layer is going to be a different color. So I just want to keep these closed so that my chalk paste is not drying. I'm hanging in there, Stacy. Had a little crisis moment in the beginning of the project, but we're over it now and we are moving right on. Okay, so my second layer, like I said, I'm going very non-traditional colors. So my second layer is going to be Ocean Mist. So I'm going for like a blue Christmas tree feel. That's kind of vintagey. That's kind of what I was thinking. So here is, I got a little water on here. Here is layer two, and here's where we're going to bring in all the components of the top of the packages with their pretty bows, and some banners and some Christmas balls. And then layer three is going to finish it off with more detail in here, and I have a pretty cool color for this, so we'll stay tuned for that. But in the meanwhile, second layer, here we go. Let us try. Hopefully we're not going to have a repeat for you, Stacy. I'm going to try my best not to get layer two stuck to itself, but we'll see what we can do, right? So again, we're gonna, you know what I think I'm gonna do? Let me grab another towel. I think I am going to start this way. So I think I'm gonna have the towel down here ready. And instead of trying to put the transfer down, I think I'm just gonna pull the transfer and get it right onto there like that. How's that? I think that works a heck of a lot better with the bigger transfers. So now I've got the sticky side down right on the towel. Whew, that's using the old noodle. Finally got it. So now all that I need to do is pick it up and put it down a couple times this way instead of trying the other way, which is what made me get it stuck to itself. So again, I'm just trying to pick up some of the fuzz from my towel so that it's not sticking so hard to my chalkboard. You've got this, you have this transfer, Stacey, or you love this transfer? I think you mean you love this transfer, right? Because I'm pretty sure you don't have it. Okay, that's what I thought. It is beautiful. And I love that you can go traditional and you can do like, you know, your green Christmas tree with your red and white and green ornaments if you want. But I've seen it done where it's a little non-traditional. That's all right. I knew what you meant, Stacy. I've gone a little non-traditional and I kind of like that. So, alrighty, here we go. Now this is going to be, and I think that now that I'm looking at it, if you can see on here, I see where I goofed. So we're learning, hey. See the plus signs over here? I should have chalked them, because what happens is when you do the second layer, you know that you're right on track when you match up your plus signs. Now, because I didn't do that, I have to try to figure it out by the packages. And that's going to make things a little difficult. But we'll see. We're going to give it a whirl. Shouldn't be too hard, but that, just realizing now the plus signs on there, I just realized what that's for. But it's okay, because I'm going to just match this up down here at the bottom with the presents. So I can kind of see where the bows go, and then I know I'm going to be on par. It's just trying to get this in the right spot at the right angle. And that's where the plus signs would have definitely have come in handy had I put them on. So this is, hi Tammy. This is still pretty sticky, but I'm trying to just wiggle it. Wiggle it on there. Alright. We're getting there. I can see it's kind of close over here. It looks good. Just definitely had this on a really wonky angle when I first put the first layer on. But I feel like that's pretty good. I'm a little off over here. Yeah. What do they say? Hindsight's 20/20? Had I just paid attention to what those little plus marks were for, this would have gone a heck of a lot easier. Alright. I definitely put this on a weird angle. And I'm not going to keep fooling with this, honestly, because this is going to take me forever. I'm getting to the point where I'm just going to put it down. Alright. Okay. I'm a little off. You're leaning left. Yeah, I definitely was leaning left, Debbie. I'm going to have to pick it up and do it again. Because I think when I put my first layer down, I was definitely leaning. I realized that when I pulled it off, I was like, oh, this looks a little crooked. Let's try it again. I'm sorry. This one is really... And it keeps sticking to the bottom of my board, too, so that's not helping. All right. Let's try this one more time, shall we? So I need to go... I'm definitely leaning left. But I have to in order to get it to match up, because that's how I did it on my original. Alright, I'm not going to fool with it anymore. That looks pretty good. I'm seeing a little bit of the color through, but this may be one that I'm going to have to do again. But we'll see. I feel like that's a little bit better. I am still seeing some of the color, the original color underneath the custard. That's what that's called, the custard. But I'm just going to keep moving right on, and we're going to get this done. Otherwise, we're going to be here till 9 o'clock tonight, and I know you guys don't want to do that. So let us... Oh, I didn't open this guy. This is the Ocean Mist. So let's get this... Oh, the whole... That's weird. The whole inside of my thing came out. I don't think that was supposed to happen. There we go. Fix that. Now, let's try to get this seal off. And that one came off pretty easy. I like it. So when you have your chalk paste for the very first time that you're opening it, you're going to need to go ahead and get in here. You can see the pigments in here. See all the different colors in there? And you can hear that? Sounds like Rice Krispies. So for your first time opening your jar, you are going to need to give it a nice vigorous stir. And that's what these multi-tools are great for, because it's more solid, so you can get in there and give it a really good stir. And then, once you don't hear the Rice Krispies anymore, you know that you've got it nicely stirred, and it's got that awesome consistency that you're looking for. So the whole thing here is going to be in this amazing Ocean Mist color. So, let me throw this in here. And I think once I'm going to make a path here, because for this layer, since my water pan is filled, I'm literally going to just run this layer to the sink and set it there, and I'll come back, because I think that yeah, it's definitely not going to fit in the pan. So let's go ahead. We're going to grab good scoop of this, and I'm literally going to just pull it straight down. See how easily that covers everything? All you need to worry about is the silkscreen area. And like I said to you, I know I definitely am going to be off a little bit on some of these presents down here on the bottom. Because, yeah, I was leaning to the side there. And I didn't put it on straight when I first did it. But we're learning together. And no worries, because it's a reusable silkscreen transfer, so I can come back in and wash this off and do it all over again. Because practice makes perfect. And what better way to learn than do it live with each other so you guys can learn from my mistakes. I'm here to embarrass myself live so you guys can learn from me. So that's what I do. Alright, get all that excess off. I think we're good. I'm going to put that right back into my jar. Close that up. And like I said, I'm going to run this one real quickly right to the sink, and then I'm going to be back in just 2 seconds and dry this off, and we will get the final layer. Yeah, they were definitely, the presents were definitely off down here in the bottom. Yeah, a little off. A little off, but you know what? Worst case scenario, I can always just wash the presents off and do that. Let me run this to the sink real quick. I just got a little water on that one just so it's not sitting there dry. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I do love the ocean mist color on here. So we need to make sure, now we're going for layer 3. So we need to make sure that these 2 layers are really good and dry. That feels pretty good. Feels nice and dry. And so here was what I was thinking for layer 3. Alright, let's get layer 3 up here. Here's our finishing touches. And did I put the pluses on there again? Nope, I just completely didn't do it again. Well, it's alright. So here was what I was thinking for layer 3. Gold ink. I think that is going to make it pop. At least I'm hoping. I'm not a huge gold fan, but I kind of like the idea of the bluish and the gold together with the white. I think I'm gonna like that. We'll see how it comes out. We'll give it a whirl and test it together. And like I said, if I don't like it, I can just wash it off. So let's go ahead and get layer 3 ready. The presents look fine. Yeah, I mean, they don't look horrible, Stacy. They're definitely off. I can see that they're off. Alrighty. So, this was a great lesson learned because now I realize the correct way, a better way, I should say, to fuzz my transfer when it's a large one like this. Definitely that is the way to go. And not the other way that I did it with the first layer. So here it has a little 3 on top, so you know that that's layer 3. Like I said, learn from my mistake in that when you're doing the layers, chalk your little plus signs here so that you can match them up, and then you just erase that at the end. Just wash it off. Okay. Here we go. Layer 3. Thank you guys for hanging in there with me. That was a little bit torturous, I'm not going to lie in the beginning there. Okay, I'm going to try to match up the star up top. I may have to put my head in the screen, and I apologize because I can't really see the angle of the star from where I'm sitting, so I'm going to have to stand. I was way crooked. Look how crooked this thing is. I still feel like that's not 100% on there. Not terrible. Oh, oh, yes it is. Wait. Yeah, you can wash the ink off because I am not heat setting it. So there's no worries there. You can definitely combine your chalk and your ink on the same projects. So there's no worries there. I have done it before. I just want to see if I can get this. All right, there we go. Okay, so I'm just kind of going lightly. Hello, Lisa. So yeah, so Stacy, yes, if you combine your chalks and the inks, I did it on another project on glass, on a box frame and a shadow box frame, and I, you know, did some pieces of it in chalk and some in ink, and it washed right off. It will do the same here because I'm not going to heat set it. Even though I am drying it, I'm just drying the ink. I'm not heat setting it. To make the ink permanent, you have to heat set it, either if it's on clothes or towels or different things like that, different textiles, you would iron it, and that would make it permanent. Or if it's on mugs or plates or things like that, like glassware, then you would bake it in an oven, and that will make it permanent. So here we go. Sorry, I had to take a quick sip of water. I'm gonna get my ink, my gold ink, ready to go. Actually, I'm going to grab a paper towel because I am super messy when I use my ink. So I just want to make sure I have a paper towel ready because I always wind up getting it on my fingers. All right, and these are our 2-ounce. All of our paste and ink used to come in little 2-ounce jars. I'm so glad that they moved up to 3-ounce jars because that won't fit. So now with our 3-ounce jars, they fit in there perfectly. So what I am going to do, actually what I'm going to do first, I forgot to make sure I didn't feel any bubbles. I think I do feel pretty good. So I'm just going to grab one of these little makeup stirry sticky things and get some of the color out of here. And the ink is definitely a lot thinner. So a little bit of the ink goes a really long way. And I can tell I'm definitely going to be putting a lot of this back into my jar when I'm done, because it definitely is thinner. Hopefully this works. We're going to see. So again, just straight down, covering all the transfer, all the silkscreen area. I don't need to get the plus now. Geez Louise, I'm on the last layer. I almost covered it. Alright, almost done. That was quick. So fast. The ink is amazing. It just goes on so nicely. Just getting this last little piece here. I do want to just one more pass because sometimes I miss little corners and little pieces. Make sure I got everything. Yep, I missed a little corner right there. Okay. So I think we're good. So I didn't actually have a lot left. What I do have, I am going to put back into my jar. All right, here we go. And then I'm going to run this to the sink real quick and then come back. Just clear a path. I keep throwing all my carrier sheets down on the floor, and I know I'm going to wind up taking a head or slipping on one. Alright. Ta-da! Yay! I love it! I really, really like that. goodness. I really, really like it. And you actually, now that I did layer 3, I mean, you could see it a tiny bit here. But holy cow. Even though I am a little crooked, and that's going to bother me. But thank you, guys. Oh my goodness, I love how this came out. I think that it is a vintage Christmas tree. I just think it's so pretty. Oh my goodness. So let's just give it a quick heat. And the ink always does take a little longer to dry. Some of them more so than others. But holy cow. Wow. You know what? For the hot mess that we started out with in the beginning, to get to this, oh my goodness. Make sure I post the colors. Oh, I sure will. I sure will, Debbie. I will definitely post them for you. But oh my goodness, this transfer is amazing. I can't believe I had the restraint to hold out as long as I did without opening this, because I've had this for a little while. But I was trying to sell it, and I really thought, like, all right, I'll hold off. I couldn't hold off anymore. I'm sorry. I had to be greedy and take it for myself so that I could make this. I was dying to. So for the little bit of sweating in the beginning, I'm really thrilled with how it came out. And I thank you guys so much. Let me see if I can maybe get my shadow out of the way so you can see it. Actually, if I can hold it up a little bit closer, let me see if that comes out a little better so you can see the detail in there. I'm just waiting for it to come up on the iPad. Oh, okay. So you can kind of see the detail. It looks better down here. But thanks guys for hanging in there with me. That went a little longer than I had anticipated because of the boo-boos in the beginning, but great learning experience, and I think I'm really, really happy with how it came out. So thank you so much for all your comments and for hanging in there with me tonight. I truly appreciate it. Have a great rest of your night, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.